All right, welcome to episode 2 of True or Not, where we are demystifying some of the topics around personal development and well-being, some of the popular things that people talk about. And today we're going to talk about the topic of happiness and what it is, what it's not, and what does actually bring us happiness and what are some myths around it. So to get us started, Yvonne, we know that there's a popular belief out there that maybe making more money or having that car or having that house or having that partner in life will actually make us happy. Do these things actually make us happy, or is there something more to it?
So you used the correct word, in fact, is beliefs. So we have the belief that having stuff is going to make us happy. So the question in reality is, why our expectations are so bad? Because getting up the job of our dreams or getting more money, in fact, doesn't make us more happy. There is a very interesting study that was done in 2010 in the Princeton University, where they were analyzing, in fact, the correlation between happiness and wealth. So, and they discovered that from $0 to $75,000, people becomes more happy. But after $75,000 per year, by the way, the happiness, in fact, does not increase. Is flattening. So if you earn $200,000, you are not going to be more happy. So there is a concept in psychology that is called miswanting, which is the act of being mistaken about what and how much you are going to like things in the future. The thing is that our brain, in fact, has a little bit of disturbances, a little bit of things that make us have a perspective that is not the correct. The first one is, in fact, that most of the time our strongest intuition about what makes us happy are totally wrong. It's almost like having a visual illusion. The other thing is that our mind do not think in terms of absolute, and we are recurrently comparing things with others. It's like when we earn more money, we think that we are going to be happy if we have even more money. Or, for instance, there was a study, another research. In fact, there is a lot of research going out there about what makes us happy. That, for instance, if there was two groups of people, one group had the option to get $50,000, and at the same time, the rest of the group could get $25,000. While the other option that they had is to earn even more, $100,000, and the rest of the team was getting $250,000. In fact, most of the people prefers the option of earning less with the condition that the others even get less money. So we are always comparing, and what is not helping is that there is social media, television, always making us believe that other people are happier, that they are traveling around the world, that they are even wealthier than us, and so on. And that influences, in fact, our perspective, our impressions about what is happiness. So our mind is playing a lot of tricks. Now, the big question is, and that gets back to you, in fact, Elena, is what can we do, in fact, to get rid of it, the disillusion from the brain?
And to kind of pick up on some of the things you mentioned is also money doesn't necessarily make us happy. As long as our basics are covered, we're safe, we have roof over our head, we have food, we have our basic kind of healthcare. That beyond that doesn't necessarily make us happy. And on top of that, a couple of other things is our number one, starting with just resetting our mindset about social media, right? So not comparing ourselves, and that essentially comes to expectations. So the thing is, when we're experiencing a new activity or when we're preparing to do something, the expectation that we have for this thing or this activity or this event, the happiness that it will bring to us, if it's not giving us that, if it doesn't match our expectation, right? This is where we become disappointed and we're saying, no, this doesn't make us happy. When in fact, we need to focus on just experiencing that event, that occasion, for what it is, without comparing it to how it was in the past or how you expect it to be in your mind. So a good example, we can talk about marriage, or relationship, which we all can relate to, or for majority of us at least, right? So before we get married, or when we get married, we have this expectation we're gonna be the happiest couples, and the first year is beautiful and amazing. And then what happens? The expectation is not what we thought it was going to be. So then we start looking like, I'm not happy, right? And etc. I'm not a marriage psychologist, so I'm not going to go into that. But you get the point that the expectation of what we thought marriage was going to be like, when it doesn't match or doesn't stay in the same level, this is when we start to experience unhappiness, perhaps. And so the idea is focus on what it is, for what it is. So focus on the present moment and experiencing this event for as unique as it is, not focusing on what you thought it was going to be like, or judging it and comparing it based on what you previously experienced. And then if that doesn't maybe work, which it should, but if it doesn't, there's also a negative visualization. So this is where, just think about, if you didn't have this experience or this thing, whatever it is, how would you feel? And I bet you that will make you think that actually this is not too bad and I'm actually quite happy.
Another point that you mentioned that was quite interesting about the comparison is this story of getting away a little bit, putting the perspective on what we observe in social media or in television. This feeling that we have that people are happier, more wealthier, in better shape than us, or have better adventure than us, that we are capable of recognizing that is not the truth, and that we are capable of reprocessing this information back in our brains in order to realize the truth. So I think that's it for today. What do you think?
That's good stuff. Cheers to happiness.
Okay, see you. Bye-bye.